What up, folks? Once again, it's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Let's go, Brandon. If you follow right-wing media, right-wing circles, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. But let's ask, is this shit disrespectful? Is it wrong? Should this be taken off the air? Hell no, it shouldn't be taken off the air. Absolutely not. But before we get into the video, let me explain to you a few things. And I'm going to ask that you do what I always ask you to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Show your boy some love at the end of the video. Click the like or dislike button depending on if you like the shit I had to say. So let's go, Brandon. Just real quick, run down the topic of what this is. Let's go, Brandon revolves around Brandon Brown, race car driver, NASCAR winner, winning the race and being interviewed. And while he was being interviewed, the crowd, thousands of people chanting at the same time were yelling, "Fuck Joe Biden." The woman interviewing Brandon, the reporter interviewing Brandon, thought that the crowd was yelling, "Let's go Brandon," not "Fuck Joe Biden." So she said that on television, and for some reason, the saying, the phrase stuck. So now when you hear someone saying, "Let's go Brandon," that's the clean way of saying "fuck Joe Biden." And there's been songs made about this and everything. And I'm gonna tell you why I think it's fair game. I know even as the handsome liberal, we got a lot of liberals saying that this is, it's bullshit, it's disrespectful, it should be taken off the air. I mean, it should be blocked or censored or whatever. But there's a couple of songs that have done quite well. Loza Alexander, and I'll link this in the description, but he has a video out called "Let's Go Brandon." It's got 3.1 million views. It's actually a catchy song, but yeah, all the way through it is constantly saying "fuck Joe Biden," and they're criticizing the hell out of the president. And that's followed by another guy, Forgiato Blow. I had to look down. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the first name right, but Forgiato Blow. Loza's a black guy and Forgiato's is a white guy, and Forgiato's video already has 1 million views or likes or whatever on YouTube. So these videos are doing very well, and it's just all anti Joe Biden rhetoric and things like that. And in Forgiato's video, there's tons of Trump supporters walking down the street with "fuck Joe Biden" signs, and Trump won the election and things like that. So it's the typical things you would see probably at a Trump rally. But why is there not, why would a liberal like myself not have a problem with this? Because there's nothing new about this shit. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of things that have happened to past presidents, which makes Joe Biden perfect for a bullseye. I mean, let's just be real. There was no sympathy towards Donald Trump. He was attacked routinely by everyone in nighttime TV, from your Colbert's. Stephen Colbert's was attacking him. You had both your Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel. He was being attacked constantly. And the late great Nipsey Hussle had a song out titled "Fuck Donald Trump." And I'll link that in the description too. And that song currently on YouTube has over 32 million views. It's been around a lot longer than "Let's Go Brandon," but 32 million views show that a lot of people have reviewed this shit. Now, of course, Obama, there were pictures of Obama in nooses and all types of shit. So the rhetoric towards the first black president was so insane that I'm not even going to bring up any songs because it was just ridiculous. I mean, even Trump was saying that the guy was not even born in the country. George W. Bush came along before Donald Trump. Before Obama. What was being said about him? Well, Kanye West said George Bush does not like black people. Right after Hurricane Katrina, the mess that was happening in Hurricane Katrina, Kanye West said that on, I believe, Saturday Night Live or something like that, or MTV. But he said it on national TV. George Bush does not like black people. And of course, there was Emenim, who has a song, rapper Emenim has a song that says "fuck Bush" in the lyrics. So, like I said, this is not something unusual where Joe Biden is some kind of, sacred ground or should be held, higher than others, because it's happened to several other presidents. Of course, Bill Clinton with Monica Lewinsky. That was a regular on Jay Leno. He would always criticize that. And he even says that to this day. He made lots of fun of Bill Clinton because of what happened with Monica Lewinsky. And then even going back as far as George H.W. Bush, the father of George W. Bush, if for you who are maybe old enough to remember the song "This or That" by a group called Black Sheep, you can get with this or you can get with that. You can, if you remember that from 1993, if you're old enough. In the video for that song, they take a picture of George H.W. Bush, who was the president at the time, and they rip it up when they say you can get with this or you can get with that, which is George H.W. Bush, and they're basically saying, because this is bullshit. So attacking Joe Biden is nothing new. I mean, I just named off, the last 30, 35 years worth of presidents, and I'm telling you that all of them have been criticized on media, on public entertainment, music, movies, nighttime television, and things like that. So let's go Brandon or fuck Joe Biden is, in my opinion, totally within the range. It's not off limits. Now, what's so special about Trump? Why for some reason are people treating Trump differently than all the other presidents? Well, it's because he kind of stepped off of the podium, stepped off of the upper level and jumped into the mosh pit and decided, I'm going to attack these people back. And that's what makes Trump a little bit different. Because you got, like I said, you have right now, let's go Brandon, which means fuck Joe Biden. You got Kanye West saying George Bush does not like black people. You had Donald Trump saying Barack Obama was born in Kenya. He's a Muslim. Like I said, Jay Leno attacking Clinton. In none of those cases did the president at the time, any of those presidents I mentioned, none of them decided to jump into the mosh pit and return fire to those who were attacking him. And certainly with Kanye West saying George Bush does not like black people, which is essentially saying he's a racist, that would have been prime time for the president to return fire. He didn't. They all kind of acted professionally and let that shit roll off of them, and they didn't jump into the mosh pit and return fire. Trump is the only president that decided, I'm going to get in fights and return fire back to these people. And as a result, he got in fights with Rosie O'Donnell and most of the people that left his administration. He's gotten in fights with from Scaramucci on down. He got in fights with the Pope and leaders of England and Germany and Canada. That wasn't happening with the other presidents. So if the question is, well, why do you treat Trump any different? It's because he's returning fire and for the most part perpetuating the events. If I say something about you and you decide to return fire, then I return fire. So it goes longer than if I say something and you just like, screw him, he ain't worth my time. That's probably the only difference I can see coming from Trump. But once again, like I said, I don't see any problem at all with fuck Joe Biden or let's go Brandon. It's kind of funny. I mean, like I said, it's doing very well. One other difference I will say that I can see being the handsome liberal. When the attacks on the liberal presidents I just mentioned happened, whether it was Jay Leno talking about Bill Clinton, or better yet, no, we'll do it the other way. When it was liberals attacking right-wing leaders, Kanye West saying George Bush does not like black people, or any of the horrible attacks from the left against Donald Trump, particularly Nipsey Hussle's song with 32 million views saying fuck Donald Trump. You wouldn't turn on MSNBC and see them glorifying Nipsey Hussle's song. You wouldn't turn on CNN and see them glorifying Emenim saying fuck Trump. Whereas Let's Go Brandon, which is the synonym now for fuck Joe Biden, it's all over Fox News. It's, all of the big names on Fox News have ran segments talking about Let's Go Brandon. From Sean Hannity to Tucker Carlson to Laura Ingraham, they have all ran segments, and they are saying that they understand why the crowd does this, and there's a reason to be angry at Joe Biden. So they're not only promoting this music, because there's a lot of people that watch Fox News, including myself. And if you haven't heard of, Let's Go Brandon or Fuck Joe Biden, and you see Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Tucker Carlson with millions of viewers, talking about this song and saying well, it's going to make you potentially go to YouTube and click on it. So they're essentially promoting it. And that was not happening for the most part when Nipsey Hussle talks about, fuck Donald Trump. And in Nipsey Hussle's song, he's not just saying fuck Donald Trump. He's calling him a nigger. He's talking about they're surprised people haven't tried to kill him. I mean, it's pretty brutal. So there's no way you could be a liberal and be against Let's Go Brandon and have no problem with Nipsey Hussle's fuck Donald Trump. They didn't even try to give it a sweet name, where they're calling it Let's Go Brandon, even though it means something else. The name of that song is Fuck Donald Trump. So, I mean, like I said, I pride myself on being able to see both sides of an issue. And even though I'm a liberal, there's no way I'm going to criticize Let's Go Brandon when there's a Fuck Donald Trump song out there. And that's just one of them. I'm sure there are more. I'm just pointing out one because it had 32 million views. I just want to do some real quick research to bring you a list of different things that have been said about a variety of presidents. So to let you know that if you do sympathize with Joe Biden, he's just in the crowd with everybody else. And like I said, the only difference is Joe Biden is highly unlikely to go back after Lola Alexander with his 3 million views or Forgiato Blow with his 1 million views. Joe Biden's not going to jump in a mosh pit and decide to attack these people back. Trump would. And it would blow the hell up out of Forgiato and Lola Alexander's career. It would probably add 20, 30 million views to their career because their music is not being promoted on MSNBC or CNN or any liberal network. So there are a lot of liberals who don't know what the hell Let's Go Brandon even fucking means. But if Joe Biden jumps in there and starts firing back at them, and now all of a sudden the liberal networks have to cover it. Perfect example of that would be Colin Kaepernick taking a knee during the anthem. Most people didn't know shit about that. That was happening with the San Francisco 49ers and maybe another team that played them. Oftentimes when the national anthem is playing, if you're watching a football game, that's the time you're fucking making chicken wings and hot dogs and pouring beer. You're not sitting there staring at the TV during the national anthem, unless it's, say, the Super Bowl, where they hire a big name star and you want to see the person. But during a regular Sunday game, nobody gives a shit about the anthem in their house. So he was taking a knee, got a little bit of attention here and there, but that was about it. All of a sudden, Trump decides to fire off at the guy, and now all of a sudden, he's getting tens of millions of views, and before you know it, 200 other players are taking a knee with the guy. That's what would happen if President Joe Biden, decided to fire back at these fuck Joe Biden or, Let's Go Brandon individuals online, like Officer Tatum is one. I'm sure Candace Owens has talked about it. You name the right-wing pundit online and they've talked about it. So if Biden decided to fire back, he would literally make the careers of a whole lot of people, because that's exactly what Trump did. So what do you think? Do you think Biden should fire back? Now, if you are a right-winger, you like when Trump fires back. Let's just be real. I like he talks like a New York cab driver. I like a president that speaks his mind. He's not going to be held by the liberal media. You like when Trump fires back. So let me ask you a question. Do you think that Joe Biden should fire back at the Let's Go Brandon crowd? What do you think? Because it's not unlikely that President Biden may find himself in an arena where people are chanting either Let's Go Brandon or outright saying fuck Joe Biden. That certainly could happen. It happened to Trump on a number of occasions. So let's not pretend that let's not pretend that any of this stuff that Joe Biden is going through is somehow new for a president to be going through. There are plenty of places that President Trump went where they booed the shit out of him and people have said fuck Trump. So what do you think? You think that President Joe Biden should jump in the mosh pit and decide to fire back at these people? Or do you believe that doing something like that is below the standard of the office? I would love to hear your take on that. Once again, I'm going to ask, like I said, go ahead and give your boy that subscription. What do you think about what I just had to say? You feeling this shit? If you are, give me that thumbs up. I could use that. It helps the analytics of the channel. You think I'm out in deep space with what the hell I just said? Give me the thumbs down, but in the comments, let me know why you wasn't feeling it. Once again, this is your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. I'll catch you in the next video.